And we're back. Last time we left off, we were playing some other games, but today we're doing some planning. Now, if you are playing in my Dungeons and Dragons game, you are welcome to watch this. This is not going to be like ultra extra spoilery. There's nothing here I'm trying to hide. This is just me trying to go through and help plan some of this stuff. So don't feel bad if you're playing the game and you're watching. And for everyone else who is watching, who actually isn't playing the game, I'm running this game for my family, for my mom, my two brothers, aunts and uncles and whatnot. And we play so sparsely that it's sometimes really hard for us to kind of like get something going. So what I kind of started them out on initially is kind of the like getting them warmed up in a couple of just like random adventures, right? Just homebrewing a little thing. We play in person. It's one of the few games I've ever played in person. And what I want to do is I kind of want to prep because next week we're playing, right? And throughout the week I want to kind of trickle in, information and like get them hyped and stuff. And what's been going on is if you're any of you are familiar with the module that I'm sort of trying to work with, which is Storm King's Thunder. This is the map that we use for it, and this is the one I'm going to use. And we're probably going to follow mostly the plot premise of Storm King's Thunder, but because of how sparsely we play, it's kind of be like the speed run version of Storm King's Thunder. And I'm going to be doing a lot of homebrewing because, of course, a lot of them really don't play a lot of D&D. A lot of them aren't going to remember from session to session, right? A lot of the more intricacies of like, okay, are you going to go to Waterdeep to trade? Okay, you're going to go up to Neverwinter. All right, you're attacked here. This happens. They're not going to be able to keep track of the larger, more political landscape, right? But this map is super cool, right? This map is super important for helping them try and remember things that they do. So even though we're not going to get crazy on the whole like the political thing and the actual like setting as much. And we're going to simplify a lot because I'm also going to be like speeding them through, right? We're leveling up like every 2 sessions or whatever, which is still only a couple times a year, but it's still pretty good. Where are they at now? Where are you guys at now? What happened last time is we just rescued from ogres the town of I haven't quite decided yet which town it was. Because when I was putting this together initially, this was kind of just like, okay, I'm just doing it off the top of my head. I can't remember which towns were over here and whatnot. But they fought for and technically rescued a town partially from these the ogres and the ogre kek and the ogre king, right? And I have not quite. I like Succumber because Succumber is actually like a super like easy sounding town, right? Jilkun is kind of cool as well. But I think the premise for when we start out, actually, like not the premise for even when we start out next week. We're gonna probably start out in Waterdeep, right? And if you know anything about Waterdeep, the City of Splendor, it's super cool, super safe. There's a lot of stuff that they can do, right? We'll start the session probably shopping. We'll probably start shopping initially. But I'm trying to rebuild what we had done in the kind of homebrew session more, and I'm actually going to like try and take as much of that and compartmentalize it. So we probably need a Google Docs page. I'm going to open that up in a second here. Docs. Yes, give me a new page. Unless I have an old one, actually. Family D&D notes, that'll work. Okay, so here's the. Let me put this off to the side. Here's our D&D notes initially. From what last time we played, 8/12. So it's been a couple of months. It actually hasn't been as long as it normally has. So these are all the names and whatnot. And here's what I was trying to keep track of as far as magic items that they had. And the big plot points. Gale gets revenge on Ogre Kek, the Ogre King, right? I probably need this in like. I'd like to put this in maybe like Word or not Word in Microsoft Paint. I think. Oh, Florida Man for Life asks, how's it going? It's going great. We're gonna see here today and probably for a couple of hours plan, partially like put together the D&D setting and stuff and I'm trying to work more with like the official settings and stuff, especially for my family game. Even though it's still going to be a lot of homebrew and I'm going to be making stuff up, but it's easier to kind of use something that's already pre-made there and then kind of go off of that. Let's see. So Gale gets revenge on Ogre Kick. Slippers of Spider Climb, Javelin Lightning, and they've got a handful of healing potions left. That's important too, because I want to give away all my secret documents and stuff. But D&D Magic card items. So I put this together so that I can physically hand them this. We actually got to go over. Let's see, what is it? Orc Pub. It's not what it's called. It's called DM's Vault now. It used to be called Orc Pub, but it's got our characters and stuff there. So let's go to. We'll log in. Are we going to log in? Yes. You don't care about the passwords. It's super secure and whatnot. We're going to go to our characters. And these are the characters they're using. They have been level 5, and we have to... I'm going to kind of like re-go through the characters. And now this is... Like, the characters aren't specifically like their character, right? I print these characters out every single time, and I hand it to them and be like, okay, which one do you guys want to play? For the most part, everyone plays the same one. But we had the monk die a couple of sessions ago. And our player playing the monk decided to start playing the barbarian, who had been played by another player who's like, sometimes they show up, family members are here and there and whatnot. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think we skipped the warlock. It's kind of a bit too complicated. We skipped sorcerer. The wizard's going to do all the sorcerer stuff for them, right? This is kind of just me trying to oversimplify things for the casual players. I'm putting the character sheets together. We're going to work on those today as well. But the main thing for our game, 10, what is it? 10, 14? Is that the day? Yes, 10, 14, 23. Pre-game. I don't know how to spell. Pre-game notes. All right, these are pre-game notes. And I'm going to have like post-game notes probably afterwards, after we actually play it next week. So pre-game notes. I'm going to have to like text this then at like part of this map to them. Most of it actually. Let's see. Pre-game notes. So they rescued town of Succumber. Let me go over the whole thing of what happened last time. Last time they left off, they were starting the session. Last game, they had started the session. The ranger had been captured at the end of the session prior. Right? They had fought off the enemies, the ogres that were assaulting Succumber. And in chasing them and trying to defeat them and completely destroy them, after the enemies decided to retreat, they engaged them again and lost the battle barely. Right? It was close. The ogres were able to defeat down to I think 2 of them left. Were able to defeat and go down, and then knock I think a couple of them out, not all of them. Right? It wasn't going to be a fight that it would have come down to the line. So instead, like we ended the session, I captured the ranger, and they fled. Right? And so the party is there. They're missing a player. Right? It's a super tense situation. It's a great note to end on. And when we started up next time, I was like, okay, before we get into any of this, you guys have already done all this work, right? I tell them, all right, you're gonna narrate to me. You're gonna plan. You're gonna narrate and tell me what happened in order to get you inside the enemy's stronghold, the enemy caves, right? The ogres are hiding in the Forlorn Hills here. You guys have infiltrated it, and you have already technically rescued your cleric, right? Or your ranger, right? So they're in there, and they have to tell me how they get there, right? And they went back and forth at different things. Oh, they're gonna like try and smoke them out. The cave system's too big, or they're gonna find like different ways to sneak down, maybe like a chimney or something where that lets out because it's a long cave complex and there's fires and stuff inside and there's little smoke things coming out in the hills somewhere. They can try and sneak down one of those. It's dangerous. But what they ultimately settled on is that they found a river that ends up going underground, or maybe more of a stream, and then actually gets inside of this area. And that's what the ogres inside are using to get drinking water and whatnot, and poop and everything. And they're going to infiltrate through that way, and they're going to go try and find and rescue their ranger. And they do this, yes. And so they get inside. They realize the ranger's there. Cool. Let's just leave in the river. Except they can't, right? Because not only are they there with their ranger, and has the ranger been captured, but there are also other townsfolk in there that they need to rescue, right? And they can't just take all these townsfolk in the river and try and swim out against it. There a lot. Some of them are old, some of them are young, right? And during the session, the cool thing was that I only had like a couple of tokens and stuff to kind of represent the group, and because we're playing at my uncle's house and he's a big he has a bunch of miniatures for different things. The ones we ended up deciding to use were actually the away team. We had Picard, Kirk, and Spock as our like villagers and stuff. And throughout the game, like we kind of goofed off and just said that it was literally those characters on an away mission that they were rescuing. Um, and ultimately at the end, uh, actually Spock died. Spock dies, and Kirk is recaptured after they're trying to get out. Kirk gets recaptured, and they have to like leave and then take a short rest and like come back to finish the assault to re-rescue Kirk. Picard actually gets out in the first initial bit, but Spock dies and Kirk gets captured again. So they re-assault and actually fight and kill the Ogre King, and then they rescue Kirk, who leaves again technically. But technically that's all fun and games, right? The actual story is they rescue the townsfolk that were captured there. So let's do this. Party rescues villagers of Secomber. Secomber. I don't know how to spell rescues. I don't know how to spell anything, by the way. So just let me have that. I don't even know how to spell party. Party rescues. Okay. Party rescues villagers of Scumber. Okay, so big block there to kind of separate it out. This is good for my organization and stuff. So they rescued the villagers of Succumber, and so they rescued everything, but we ended the session right there. And then I'm gonna tell them what they did, what their party did until then. They traveled to. Okay, that's a thing that the game ends on. That's why that's going to be in a bullet point. Okay, so the party rescues villagers of Cumber. Period. Right. So Cumber lays in ruins, and the townsfolk need a place to go. Need a place to go. Period. Okay. Their first option is Julkun. Koun. I'm looking at stuff to like put things together. Their first option, yes, first option is Jokun, comma, but when the what do we want to call the group with refugees? When the I guess party and refugees and refugees arrive, they find the town. How do we want to word this? Right, we find the town. It's also in ruins, right? It's also in ruins because these ogres have already been attacking a bunch of towns. Like they've also attacked Ulvlin, although they don't know that yet. But Julkun has been attacked and the town destroyed as well. Instead, they decide to march down the Dellenbeer River. They decide to march the refugees along the Dellenbeer EIYR. That is spelled as it is on the thing. Down the Dellenbeer River to Daggerford. They decide. Okay. So let's actually paragraph this properly. Scumberlay's ruins and the townfolk need a place to go. The first option is Jolkun, but when the party and refugees arrive, find the town destroyed as well. Instead, they decide to march for refugees. I should say destroyed by giants. Or no, by... Destroyed by ogres as well. Instead, they decide to march for refugees along the Donley River. Hey, Greg, how's it going? We're putting together a little planning session for my family D&D game that we have intermittently. The last one was 2 months ago, and I'm trying to just to set up the intermediate between the last sessions where they rescued some villagers from the Ogre King, and are right now they're trying to just like get back, take them somewhere, right? So let's see. Scumberlay's ruins and Townfolk need a place to go. Their first option is Jolkun, right over here, and when the party of refugees arrive at the town had been destroyed by ogres as well. So instead, they decided to take the refugees along the Delambir River, so they keep going to Daggerford. So Daggerford's an actual much safer town, a much more better guarded town, but also just wasn't straight up attacked by the ogres. There, they find refuge for the refugees. And I want them to go to Waterdeep. So how do I say they choose to go to Waterdeep? And they, I could do arbitrary and just say they go to Waterdeep. But I could also kind of build in the setting, of course. They. Sorry, I got a little stale air because we just turned on the heater today for the first time. As it has gotten rather cold really quickly as in the last week. My heater is on, right? Yeah, okay. Because it's still kind of cold in here. There they find refuge for the refugees, and they head to the city of Splendor. That's a capital P we don't need. Waterdeep. I'm going to capitalize that because what I'm going to do is I'm going to text this paragraph to them in our little group chat in order to like get them kind of hyped about this and kind of like help them with like notes and know what's going on. Right. We're going to go to the city of Splendor, comma Waterdeep. To spend their hard fought GHT money and find their next adventure. I'll just read it again. Adventure. T-U-R-E. Okay, better. All right. Okay, so I think that's good. So this is the like prelude. This is what I'm going to text them probably today. I'm probably going to send them part of this map. I don't know if I'll send them the whole thing. I think we want to cut this down. And then whatever I'm going to send, I'm going to like be like, okay, here's Succumber, here's Joklund, here's Daggerford. Actually, what I'm going to do, here's what I want to try and do. I'm going to send them this whole map, this whole highish resolution map, and I'm going to be like, okay, whoever can find Succumber and Waterdeep, whoever can tell me the town between Daggerford and Waterdeep gets inspiration for the next session. And they don't exactly know what inspiration is. We've been kind of skimping on some of the more advanced features like inspiration that aren't super important, but I can kind of use that and be like, okay, that way they can all figure out, okay, where on the map is this, right? Tell me what the town is between Daggerford and Waterdeep, because instead of them just like, oh, I could do something like, okay, I just want them to know where all this is, where this is all happening on the map. And the easiest way to do it is to like ask them, okay, where's the town nearby to these two places? What town is between Waterdeep and Daggerford? And it's Nightstone. It's Nightstone. I'll probably do that like Monday or something because today is going to be like this initial bit, and I'll send them the map. So let's see. We want to. They're going to go to Waterdeep to spend their hard-earned money and find their next adventure. What is their next adventure, right? Because the Ordning is happening, right? This is Storm King's Thunder Light. This is Storm King's Thunder Speedrun. And Waterdeep is a good place for them to spend their money. Speaking of money, we're going to do some magic card stuff too. I got to figure out which of these are theirs and which of these are things that I might have on the sellers list and whatnot. Okay, so they go to Waterdeep, and Waterdeep is one of the coolest places in all of Faerun. And so Waterdeep, I'm going to make a whole little thing in Waterdeep. Oh, I forget what the hotkey thing is for like changing something from lowercase to capital. In Waterdeep. Okay. Okay, so this is what I'm going to send them today. You know, this little premise here to kind of get them looped up in this map, and then I'm going to send them Waterdeep. This little next paragraph later. In Waterdeep. The party takes time to relax and recover from the treacherous adventure. And during their week of rest, I'm probably going. What I'm going to do is I'm probably going to do a little speech. I've kind of been putting this together slowly, right? I'm not coming up with all this on scratch on the spot, right? I've been thinking about this for weeks now, and playing different things in my head. Just what I can remember. My memory's terrible, so this is why I need to like write this stuff down. But the what is it, the Lord's Council or something? The Lords of Waterdeep. And during the week of rest, one of the Lords of Waterdeep, we'll capitalize that too. I kind of want to like bold, like italicize this a little bit. Waterdeep, and this font looks terrible. Should I just change the font from Arial to Times New Roman? Okay, looks it's a little better. I do kind of want to bold this too. In Waterdeep. Okay, so the Lords of Waterdeep. Right, I'm only capitalizing, like, I'm not capitalizing every single town. Although I probably should bold these ones. I should embolden names, but Waterdeep is fully capital. Anything super important. Jolkoon is also a city name. This is just like good note taking stuff. Spend the hard time of their next adventure, right? Did I get them all? The Dellenby River. Yes. Okay. Yeah. Still waking up. 1:30 in the morning. In the afternoon, I should say. And I'm still waking up. The party takes time to relax and recover from the treacherous adventure. And during their week of rest, one doesn't need to be capitalized. One of the Lords of Waterdeep gives the weekly. Ooh, everything is bold still. B. And normally what I would put down is I'd put like the weekly recap, and I'd think of something else. But I need to think of something better to call this, like the weekly report, the weekly recap, um, of like the big goings on around Waterdeep and the Swords Coast. Um, so one of the Lords of Waterdeep gives the weekly. Hmm, we'll do report for now. To the great city, right? I need to remind them like this is Waterdeep. This is a super important like city. This is a grand city, and there's super cool things. There's gonna be things in the session that I'm gonna like that I'm gonna like go into more detail about when we go through this, because we're probably gonna go through all this again during in the session, or at least like pre-session and whatnot. And I'm able to do like I'll probably do the speech for this weekly report. What do we want in all this report? This is going to be all the adventures that they're going to be able to like sort of work towards, or just random goings on and whatnot. So first off, let's do the important things. Let's do the thing that they would want to say first, which is the most important thing. How do I want to structure this? First, travel north of Red Lurch along the long road, along the long road, along the long road is banned. I should probably capitalize R. I need to go bold these. Red Lurch, B. Long road, B. I'm gonna have to like email this all to myself too to get it on my phone so I can text it to them. So that's the way we're probably gonna have to communicate with all this. All right. Is banned due to attacks on vans onto attacks on caravans. Um, Between the town of Red Lurch and Tribor. Tribor. Okay. Towns. Make this bold again. I'll make this one bold. Tax. Okay. First, comma. I should also remember to do as much good grammar as possible. First, comma. Travel north of the Red Lurch along the long road is banned due to attacks on caravans between the towns of Red Lurch and Tribor. Okay, so here. So between Tribor and Red Lurch, it's all banned. We have no mention of Westbridge or of the Stone Trail or is anything else around here. But there have been attacks here, and they say nothing about what has caused them. Zero. Until this is resolved, the ban will until this is resolved. We're gonna say what detour is better. Caravans are suggested to take the Road as detour. Okay. Caravans are just to take the Desert Road as detour. Gotcha. So they're going to take this road. This is the Desert Valley. This is the Desert Road. It goes up here, and then this is Jundar's Pass in between the Desert Hills. And then you can go to Tribor. But they've only had attacks here. This is also under attack. They don't know this yet. The party doesn't know this, and neither do the Lords of Waterdeep know that this area is currently under attack as well. It takes this is like a month of travel to go through, like from like Waterdeep to Everland. It's less than that really, but it's pretty long journey. So they don't quite know that yet. What's all going on? The party obviously, if they go to try and figure out what's going on, which the answer is hill giants, they'll go deal with that and figure that out, and they'll do their things. Let's see. Second, comma. Okay, what's the second thing? I know what the third thing is. What's the second thing? How do we want to put this? Oh, of course, yes. Second, the towns of Succumber and Jilkun have been this is what the party has done last time, and this is one of the Lords of Waterdeep literally giving the report and telling, hey, this happened. As he's like acting as here's how this works. The Lord gives a weekly report, and then town criers will repeat the speech that he gives throughout the week and whatnot, throughout all of Waterdeep, so everyone knows. And then a new one comes out, after 7 days and whatnot. Let's see. The towns of Succumber and Jakun been attacked by ogres and ransacked. I should say the ogres, the Rogers. The ogres have already been slain by traveling mercenaries is what he's going to say, right? He is some big lordy dude. He doesn't care who the party is yet, right? They're level 6 at this point. He doesn't care who they are. He doesn't know who they are. And he's just like, listen, these towns were destroyed. We don't even care, right? Was slain by traveling mercenary. I don't know how to spell mercenaries halfway through spelling it. Traveling mercenaries and the refugees have taken hold in Daggerford. Okay, let's go back. Succumber. Bold. Ooh, that R needs boldened. I'll just be there. There. Will be. Oh, excuse me. I had pizza before this for lunch, which is on top of the water is making me a little burpy. Okay, the party takes time to relax and recover from the treacherous adventure. And during their week of rest, one of the Lords of Waterdeep give the weekly report to the great city. First, travel to the north of Red Lurch along the long road is banned due to attacks on caravans between the town of Red Lurch and Tribor. Until this is resolved, caravans are suggested to take the Desron Road as a detour. Second, the towns of Succumber and Juklin have been attacked by ogres and ransacked. The ogres have already been slain by traveling mercenaries, and the refugees have taken hold in Daggerford. I don't know if I want this to be the third thing or the last thing. Are we going to come up with another one? But the other actual adventure that they can go on, I should mention this is mentioned in passing almost as a joke. Um, third comma. How do you spell live for less? Live for less has disappeared. It's so hard to like say it with my mouth and type it at a different like speed. Live Last has disappeared from Golden Field. I should say that's one statement. Liferless has disappeared from Golden Fields, and his joking comment afterwards. Let's see, Liferless, Control B, Golden Fields B, and his joking comment is going to be, I don't know how you lose a whole tree, but I don't know how you lose a whole tree, comma, but if you how do we want to do this? Because I'm tempted to like just give them just a little bit enough to be like, they're missing a tree? Live for less, I disappear from Golden Trails. Is it a tree? Right? They aren't. They should I keep it in the dark about the fact that it's an awakened tree at the moment, or should I wait for them to go there and find out on their own? Right? And kind of have that revealed later. I could just say that Liveless has disappeared from Golden Fields. I could just leave it at that, but I want the characterization of one of the Lords of Waterdeep. They're mass figures, right? You don't know who they are, right? You don't know their name. They're just a Lord of Waterdeep. I don't know how you lose a whole tree, but if anyone because the easier thing to say here, if anyone sees a roaming tree, please direct it back to Golden Fields, right? That's what I would want to say, but that gives away the idea. Sees a tree, please Fields. Okay. Third, Liverlast has disappeared from Golden Fields. I don't know how you lose a whole tree, but if anyone sees a walking tree, please direct it back to Golden Fields. Right? So that kind of tells them literally, okay, Liverlast is a walking tree. But this is a fantasy adventure. Like I assume that they're going to assume that, but maybe they don't assume that. Maybe they assume that that's just the joke. That's just the joke that somehow a tree that's really important to them was lost, and the joke is it just walked away, right? That could be that they could assume that too, and then we actually find out it's literally an awakened walking tree. That's the cool part, right? It doesn't really matter if it's hidden, I guess, at the end of the day, because I think that line is it's very important to give them interest in that with that line that this is like, oh, it's somehow a tree that they lost, and it's a named tree. Okay, and I might come up with the fourth thing as we're working today. I might come up with the fourth thing because what I want to do is I kind of want to start sprinkling in information about maybe other giants and stuff. It probably none of this is probably gonna none of the other giant things is gonna happen yet. I think for the most part, the hill giants are the thing that they're gonna have to focus on the most next, right? The liverless thing, I'm not gonna like go into too much detail about that, of course, but it's a smaller side quest. They're going to find out some important things if they go looking after him and rescue or whatever him, or get him home. Let's leave it at that. Okay. So let's start doing notes on the adventure. Okay. So first off, the Hill Giants is like the big thing, right? That's the big arc that's gonna be moving. Every little subplot is gonna that I give to them, and if we come up with right, Live for Lost is actually just related to what's going on along the long road here, right? The Hill Giants and stuff that are attacking now that they don't initially know about. Live for Less is missing because of that. Why is he missing? I'm not 100% certain on that yet. We're gonna work on that today or something, right? Let's see. Let's work on what is Westbridge? Let me. I'm gonna pull up on the D&D wiki. West Bridge. Yep, that's the one. Okay, so West Bridge. It shows where it is on the map, which is super cool. It's weird because they're actually like more higher detailed maps for this area here, because obviously there's the DM version, there's a player version. I'm using the player version that has less little markers and whatnot here. Let's see. It's set along the intersection of the Stone Trail. It's this right here, of course, Westbridge. This is like the center. Like this is the big town between Tribor and Red Lurch, right? That town must be under attack. Clearly, if people are attacking caravans, there must be a problem at Westbridge. There might even be a problem with Ballard or something. Who knows? Market stockyard, number of warehouses. All owned by Halfling. Is there anything important here that I would want to know? The Harvest Inn is run by the likable Hervin Dargon. Okay, so I'm gonna write some notes about West Bridge. That is not the way to do it. Nope, not all of them. Control B. As the Harvest Inn. That's not how you spell harvest. East Inn. Run by. I'm just gonna copy and paste these fancy names. How did I lose this? CV. Okay, hold on. I have to right click paste without formatting. No, it's still got like the background thing. It might be super hard to see here, but not only is the font different, but the background is too. All right, Times New Roman. And then it's got a highlight behind it too, which is yeah. I can get rid of highlight like that. There we go. Okay, so that's an important name that needs boldened as well. B, that in should be boldened as well because it's a name. Okay. This might not be a note I send to them directly. This is more for me. Harvest Inn run by Hervin Dardragon. Hervin Dardragon. That's probably the way to pronounce it. That's how I'm gonna pronounce it. Lingo, hey, Salty, how's we doing today? We're doing good. We're playing ourselves our family D&D game that's going on next week. A lot of this I'm putting together because I'm gonna like kind of sprinkle a bunch of this information out throughout the week. I'm gonna like text it to them and whatnot and get them like interested in kind of working on things. And I'm doing the kind of planning. We got a little map here that we're working on. Let's see. This is all the rumors and stuff, but I'm starting to build all this little area here. At least build my notes and stuff for it. Let's see. Harvest Inn in Westbridge is run by Hervin Dargan. We'll just say we're in the 15th century because I think that is supposed to be the 15th century is supposed to be where during the time this is set and whatnot. Um, let's see. Upon traveling there, they'll probably what people of Westbridge will tell them. Yes, hill giants have been attacking caravans and have yet to attack Westbridge. But what they're going to say, I should write that down. Townsfolk um, tell the party on arrival that, let's see, townsfolk, yes, that townsfolk will tell the party on arrival that hill giants have begun attacking caravans. Along the Lard Road. Along the long Along the long road. That's hard to say when you have the long. Um, I should probably capitalize G. Hill Giants. So it stands a little bit more. The long road. Control B. Um, they'll also say the town. Or sorry, Westbridge. Westbridge has not come under attack. Westbridge has not come under attack because the Giants fear. What's this dude's name? The Giants fear. Who do they fear? We got to come up with a name for this guy. Um, his last name's Longstocking. I know that. Right, we're making. What's his first name though? Um, Longstocking's a normal last name, but what is his first name? I need to make a first name for this guy. This guy is like there's been a family that has lived in Westbridge for a long time, and they have been like generally like a powerful at some point like the founding member of this family who has lived here forever was a powerful adventurer, and all his is progeny the right word? All his children have been tasked with defending Westbridge, as well as generally they're like good, like powerful adventurers themselves. But there's only one ancestor left from the old Longbridge family line, and they have. I'm trying to think of a good name for him. I'm not thinking of one. One's not coming up because I'm thinking of other things. I'm saying words. What do we have going? What do we have? Long stocking. What's a good fantasy first name? Because the only thing that comes up are like the names of all the of characters in the games that I'm playing in right now. I should come up with something unique. I shouldn't just pick something cool like we zoomed out a little bit and zoom back in. Westbridge here. Um, hmm. I can just go to my fantasy name generator until we work on something. Fantasy. I don't know. Human names. I gotta find human though in this huge list of things. Or course names. Um, why is there no human option here? Hmm. I'm using a fantasy name generator here. I'll just pull it to the side so we can see. Fantasy and folklore, right? So, and I'm trying to look for fantasy human names because I think this guy's gonna be a human. Because I need someone who's also kind of I can't pick an elf who's just lived forever, right? Can't pick a dwarf who's lived forever, right? We want to keep things kind of normal. So I think they're going to be a human, someone with shorter lifespan. Um, and none of that's going to help. I guess we can pick from real names. I don't want to do cosmic names. We could do Czech names. Ooh. Yeah, we just pick real names. Where's this guy from? This guy's from Westbridge. Where's his family from? Where in the real world would his family be from? We should give him an Irish name. Something I can do an accent for. Actually, yeah, we might even be changing his last name. Oh no, Longstocking actually works for Irish. I did like Archie. Archie sounds cool. What's gonna probably happen is this guy's probably gonna be like given like Captain Kirk's token again or something or someone else, and we'll just call him that for the actual session. But for the important bits, as far like the actual lore in the end of the day, I want to have a cool name. I do like Archie. Archie Longstocking, unless I can find something else. The cool thing is I can do an Irish accent, which I probably need to practice for sure. Because the biggest problem with me and accents, because when I do them with my own like characters that I end up playing, is that I forget what accent or how to do an accent. My memory is just it's literally so bad I'll forget how to do an accent, and I'll just kind of mime something close. And what is Irish ultimately turns into like French, and then French turns into pirate, and it goes rough. Um, yes, Archie Longstocking. Okay, Westbridge has not come under attack because the giants fear Archie Longstocking, right? This is what the townsfolk. Okay, so the townsfolk are going to be like, okay, you've come to Westbridge, and hey, and they're going to be like, hey, what's going on? They might have gotten attacked along the way here by something, or not. They probably haven't, right? The townsfolk tell a party when they arrive there. Yes, the caravans have been attacked along the long road by hill giants. And then Westbridge specifically has not come under attack because the Giants fear Archie Longstocking. Right, this is an assumption by the townsfolk who think Archie Longstocking, because he's part of the Longstocking family line, is a strong, powerful adventurer like his forefathers before him. Right, and clearly the Hill Giants know that, obviously, and they fear attacking this place because of such a powerful warrior. Right, and we're going to find out that Archie Longstocking is not up to snuff alone to go after and fight these guys. Okay, so how do I put this more into words? Westbridge has not come to attack because the Giants fear Archie Longstocking. Um, how do I want a word like great hero of the Longstocking family of adventurers? Need a comma there. Yes, good. You know that. B. That's bold. I don't need that bold. I shouldn't say great hero, right? I should say the last son of the Longstocking family of adventurers. Did I say something else? Right, last son kind of gives away a little bit too much, right? He is the last son, yes, um, but do I want to leave? Do I want to lead with that? Do I want to lead that he's the last son of the Longstocking family of adventurers? Right. I think maybe we just leave it the son of the Longstocking family of adventurers. Yeah, okay. So we don't say last. We just say son of the Longstocking family of adventurers. Okay. Townsfolk will tell the party of the on arrival that hill giants have been attacking caravans along the long road. Westbridge has not come under attack because the giants fear Archie Longstocking, son of the Longstocking family of adventurers, comma, who plans to head out and let's go back to the thing. We don't need any more Irish names. Who plans to head out and defeat giants. Plans to head out and defeat the giants like his fathers before him. Okay. So he plans to head out and defeat the giants like his fathers before him. And what they're going to do, right? Um, okay, so that's important. I'm making another little break here, right? Townsfolk there. I'm going to make another little break here. This right? This sounds like railroading, but clearly the party is gonna go try and find this dude, right? This dude's gonna go try and fight the giants. Clearly, we're gonna go. The party wants to go do that. If they come here, if they come to Westbridge, they're gonna find out and do that. They're gonna try and do that. They might hear rumors at Red Larch that, oh no, don't worry about the hill giants. You know, the Longstocking family will take care of it, right? Depending on how they try and go about figuring out what's going on with Long Road, they'll hear about this dude and what's going on, and they'll clearly want to be like, okay, this guy knows what's going on. This guy is competent. We are missing information and opportunity, right? This guy is probably the guy we need to find to get opportunity, right? When the party meets Archie, meats, yes, lovely edible meats. When the party meets Archie, um, they will find that he is not much different from them. He will find that he is not much different from them, and I will put a period there. Right, that's an important block statement. When the party meets Archie, they will find that he is not much different from them. Right, because Archie is going to be roughly similar to them. In front of me, Archie, they will find that he is not much different from them. They'll find that he is not much different from them. And let's see, I should also put like a note. Founded by Gahalvir. Gahalver Longstocking. Okay. Did I Ghaliver? Ghaliver. Yep. Okay. Good. Founded by. So that's the old ancestor to Archie Longstocking. When the party meets him, they will find that he is not much different from him. Before he takes Hmm. How do we want to put this together? I'm thinking how I want to word this and how I want to describe, because it makes more sense in my mind how I want this to go, but how do I get from A to B, right? How do I put this into words? Into short, simple, less complicated rules. Hmm. I think before makes his, why is that tabbed out? There we go. Before he makes his, I guess, well, for lack of a better term, move on the hill giants. Did I double type the? I guess I did. Before he makes his move on the hill giants, he plans to head to the long stocking, long stocking. Yes. Am I double typing? I think it's correcting to the. I think it's is it auto correcting. I'm not watching me type live. I'm actually just looking at the keyboard because I'm terrible at typing. Before he makes his move on the hill giants, he plans to head to the long stocking uh, tombs and recover. I don't want to say like artifacts. I guess artifacts is the best way. When the party meets, Archie, they'll find that he is not much different from them. Before he makes his move on the Hill Giants, he plans to head to the Longstocking Tombs and recover the artifacts of his fathers. Of his fathers to aid him in the battle. Okay. And where are we going to do that? We don't have to actually put this on the map, right? Archie knows where it is, right? He knows where the tomb is near Westbridge. It's probably in the Cryptigan Forest or something. And and he offers the party to help him. Right. Why does he offer the party to help him? Right. It's his family's tomb, right? What danger's there? Well, you see, the family tomb is set up so that grave robbers can't get in, right? It's got traps, and there are defenses and stuff. What are those traps, defenses? Don't worry about those yet. We'll get to those during the session. Um, Probably. Um, but he offers the party to help him uh, collect them. And if they press him to either get a magic item, that get one of the artifacts, or get paid for it, he'll definitely agree to that. Certainly. Otherwise, if they just agree and to do it for free, um, he will do that. Let's see. What are the rewards, or what are the artifacts he's looking for? What are the artifacts that he is looking for? He is looking he's looking for okay, no, before that. He has not been inside the tomb. He knows what is stored inside. First, he is looking for the sword. And should I come up with a unique name of swords? I shouldn't just name it the Sword of Kalis or something. Um, I guess let me pull up my my thingamabob again. Where would swords be? Here. Okay. And sort of the Night's Fall, Comet Fell. That sounds super cool. The Black Blade, Cutting of the Phoenix, Card Slicer, um, King's Offender, Rigor Mortis, the Mangler. I kind of like Comet Fall. Kind of like Comet Fall. Let's do that. And this Comet Fall actually is going to be Cometfall. Comet Fall. Okay, so we do Comet Fall as the name of the sword. Got it. I should go back through and work on all this Archie. Before he's moved to the hills, long stalking tombs. Okay, should hold that as well and recover the artifacts of his fathers. He offers the party to help him collect them, although he has not been inside the tomb. He knows what is stored inside. First, he's looking for the sword of Comet Fall. Um, buried with Gearied. Buried. I should correct it. Buried. Nope. Yeah, it should be a lot shorter. Um, with the town's founder, Gahalvir. I'm just gonna copy and paste it. Gahalvir, long stocking. Okay, we're starting to get the page two, which is good, which means we're getting a decent bit of notes here. First looking for the sword Cometfall buried with the town founder. Second, he second he's looking for ooh there should I do one of the shields? Maybe. I was thinking like a chain something like an animating chain shirt. So I won't say that it's adamantine chain shirt yet, right? Second, he is looking for Arthin's armor, right? And they're going to assume that they won't know what it is, right? Arthin's armor. He's looking for Arthin's armor, which is a chain shirt of adamantine, which is very very expensive, but it's very very good for not getting crit. Um, Lastly, he hopes to find What do I want it to be? What do I want this last one to be? Lastly, he hopes to find someone's ring, I think, whose powers he does not know. What are those powers, right? What ring am I picking? Let's go to items, ring. Um, let's work our way up from the down. Hmm. I think it's just gonna be a ring of protection at the end of the day. Which are all rare, aren't they? I think so. Okay. I see. Hopes to find Mithlin's ring, whose power he does not know. It might not be all the stuff that they find in here, right? But those are the three things that our boy Archie is going to look for, right? You need to go all the way to the end of the tomb for to find the sword Comet Fall, right? He's looking for Arthur's armor and Mithlin's Mithlin's ring as well, whose power he does not know. Right, and the thing is, they're gonna get to the end of the line. They're gonna find all this stuff. They're gonna realize, hey, probably through all this adventuring stuff, this guy's not gonna be able to take on the hill giants all on his own, right? They haven't even fought hill giants yet, but they fought ogres, right? Which aren't as strong as hill giants. Like this guy alone is not gonna be able to do it. But when he gets all these, when Archie finds all of these items, he will return to Westbridge. He'll return to Westbridge. He sets out to face the Giants. Period. Okay. Now, here's the thing, right? That little adventure, like that's like okay, we're gonna take information first. Travel in North Red Alert is banned due to tax care between rounds. All right, so that's hook number one. That's hook number one. They're gonna go to Westbridge. They're gonna find all this stuff going on at Westbridge, and this is the adventure that we would play. Right, we would play that little dungeon out. Right, and that would be the whole next week's little adventure here. Right, I'm not gonna put the whole dungeon here. I kind of know what I want to do. Right, I do some improv during the session. Right, because I don't actually have to have a physical map ready for all that. I'll just get something close and then figure out where I want traps and whatnot in the way. And set things up. I'll have to do that like secretly. Right, that's one of the secrets that I don't want to like give out to the players if you're watching still right now, which you're allowed to, right? I'm intentionally like not going to go over all the actual interesting stuff, right? This is interesting stuff, yes, but it's not the stuff I want to keep secret, because the encounter stuff is actually really important. Right, and I can end it right there, right, and we can save the rest of the plan for like because they won't get through that whole little dungeon. It might take them the whole session to get through that dungeon, but Golden Fields. This is kind of where I think they're going to go instead, um, because it's closer, right? This is option number 2, Golden Fields, because Red Larch and whatever's going on here is further away in Westbridge, right? That's further away. They're going to be in Waterdeep to start out the start of the session. You're going to do some shopping. Golden Fields is a lot closer, right? If they go to Golden Fields, what are they going to find out? They're going to find out Lifferloss is an awakened tree that has lived in life, lived in, I should say, in Goldfields. Lifferloss is actually super cool. He's like chill with kids and whatnot, and he lives in Golden Fields, which is a big, just, it's called Golden Fields because it's just a wheat like farmland area kind of thing, and it's super cool. Lifferloss is a awakened tree that lived in Golden Fields, right? We've already kind of given it away, so it's not super important about us. And left uh the the town for the first time so Lifferless has never left Golden Fields before. That's what I want to say, that he's never left Golden Fields before. In fact, he was awakened by an Emerald Enclave druid in order to protect Golden Fields, right? He's a very powerful, just awakened tree, right? Awakened trees are strong, right? They're not Ents. They're different from Ents. He's an awakened tree, right? And he left this town, which he was set. His job was protect Golden Fields, right? And he left, and that's really, really disconcerting for the party. How do I want to word that? Or it's not for the party, for the townsfolk. And left town for the first time, and the townsfolk do not know why. He fled north, right? This is going to lead them further to the north, right? This is related to the giants. He fled north, period. I shouldn't say fled. He walked. How am I missing letters half the time? Okay, so Liverless has left Golden Fields, right? And he headed north, right? He's heading to the Sumber Hills. There's nothing much else about the Golden Field stuff. This is just, I should say, he's bold. B. Okay, what is north? There's 2 different places. There's Womford, which is an actual town, and there's the Barge Right Inn, which is an inn along the river. The river is one of the ways that you can get from Waterdeep all the way up the river to Yartar, which is as well on its way to Everland. Ooh, I should actually say up here, check the Desert Road as a detour, or book passage up the Desert River. Okay, that's good. DESS. How does it? Yeah, maybe that's Real River, I guess. B. I shouldn't capitalize book. Okay, so yeah. So Desserin River. Take them past under Stonebridge, I should say, all the way to Yartar. Now, here's the thing. This is the cool thing. We also lead in with a different kind of thing. they could be at Waterdeep, right? And they can book passage here. Waterdeep's a huge city. Of course, they book passage up the Desert River here, right? This is a good trade route up towards Everland and whatnot. Not. You kind of don't want to go into the Evermore, so it stops. They mostly all stop at Yartar, unless they're specifically going to like Morburn Shield, or as far as they can get to try and get somewhere up here towards Dwarven territory or whatnot. I guess they can go to keep the SMA, Rivermoot. I guess it's a big enough river to go all the way up here. This river goes a long way, actually. They could go all the way around the Evermores, or they could get off of Yartar and go the rest of the way. Okay, good to know. I didn't realize that yet. He walked north. If the party I shouldn't say if. Well, I'm gonna say if, but I know when the party goes to Wallford or Bartrodin. Or comma, if the party goes to Wallford or Barge right in, they they will hear rumors. I shouldn't say rumors. They will hear of sightings of walking tree. I shouldn't say liverless. And I should say heading north along the Desserin River. It's to Wallford, Desserin. Let's pull this all up. This is stuff I probably don't need to like write down, but I'm going to go over this a few different ways. So the party's going to have essentially two options of where to go. I'm going to try and come up with a third for them to kind of lead them into the Hill Giants as well. I kind of know what I want for that. It has to do with Uthgar barbarian tribes. I don't know how I want the Waterdeep guy to like push it out yet. But as far as this Liverlast thing is, as far as the Golden Fields lead is, they can get to Golden Fields one of a couple ways, right? If they're going to Long Road, they pretty much got to go on the road to Long Road, right? There's only really one way they can get there and do anything. But they're going to go from Waterdeep to Golden Fields, and they can do that one of two ways. They can either take the North Furrow Road and go straight to Golden Fields. And at any time, right? They could do it. They could do it when they're in Waterdeep, or they could do it later, right? They can take this river up to Golden Fields, or they could take from Golden Fields up to the Barge Right Inn, or they can continue. They can either walk, or they can take a barge all the way up through to Stonebridge to Yartar to try and figure out what's going on through here. And what's going to happen if they go to Golden Fields? What they're going to see is that if they go along the river themselves, eventually they'll probably go along the river, right? Regardless of what route they take, they're probably eventually going to go along the river. It depends on whether they get to Barge Right Inn early or not, because if they go across the river here, what they will see... Ooh, I should probably... If I want this to work, I need them to be able to distinguish Liverlas from any other tree, right? So I should tell them what Liverlas is. Do they have that here? Liverlas. He's got a nice, beautiful face. Druid of the Emerald Enclave gave life Liverlas, entertain children, blah, blah, blah. Oldest sentient being in the place, blah, blah, blah. It does not say what type of tree he is. I should denote for sure I should know in two different places, right? I should have repetition of information, right? So they don't miss it. They're gonna miss it, but I'm gonna be able to remind them that I mentioned to them twice what type of tree it is. In Waterdeep. Okay, Desert Road, Succumbridge Coon. The ogres are already slain. Third, Lifeless has disappeared from Golders. I don't know about how do you lose a whole tree, but if anyone sees a walking, you should say what exactly type of tree Lifeless is. And what type of tree? What type of tree do I want him to be? I see the easiest thing to say is probably oak. Like if I do oak, please direct it back to Golden Fields, right? And I can describe an oak easily, right? Right. It's something that anyone would be able to. I don't need to have like a magic tree. I don't need to have something special. It's like, oh, he's definitely not like a red oak. He's just a regular normal sized tree, right? And what I think can happen, right? I want to say that he's an oak, right? Explicitly here, and probably if they go to Golden Fields somewhere, someone's going to mention he's an oak, and whatnot another time. But if they go from Golden Fields to barge right in, if they travel along the river, what I'm going to say is that if the party travels along the river at any time here, party travels along the river, they will. This will be like an encounter. They will encounter another awakened what should it be? Apple tree. I should have it clearly and distinctly different. And why do I want it to be an apple tree for like extra multiple reasons? Because if he has apples, he's gonna throw them at the party, right? Another awakened. I should say an awakened apple tree going north along the river. Going north. Okay, yes, that's also another thing. All right, so they're gonna hear that Liferlas is an oak tree, right? They're gonna hear that Liferlas is an oak tree, but all the reports of Barge Right Inn and Wamford is gonna be like, hey, there have actually been more sightings. This is gonna be hit. There's gonna be additional sightings of trees, right? They're gonna see this apple tree. They're gonna see like a pear tree, right? They're gonna see an ash, right? They're gonna see willows and stuff. There's going to be all sorts of reports, and a lot of people have been seeing it. And so that's going to lead the party to think that, okay, multiple trees are going north, and they're following this river, right? And they're going to go up, and either they maybe they have a fight here, maybe they have a fight somewhere going up this way, right? But they're going to run into one of these trees, and obviously, like unless they do the completely like crazy, just like unreasonable thing that I wouldn't expect any adventuring party to do, but like not go try and talk to the walking tree, right? If there's a walking tree, they've been searching for a walking tree. The first one they see, they're not going to just like leave and not do anything. Obviously, that'd be really crazy. They're going to go up and try to talk to it. And what's going to happen is this thing is going to start attacking them. Right? It's going to start throwing its apples at them, and they're going to be fighting it. They'll find out that it does not. They will notice during the fight that it does not have a face. This is probably not Liferlas. It's a different type of tree. And killing it might be bad, or they can flee, right? They can flee at that point, right? But the tree attacked them, or they can take down a tree, right? An awakened tree isn't that big of a deal for them as a 6th level adventuring party. I'll probably buff it up a little bit just to make it an interesting fight. Actually, what I'll probably do to make it an interesting fight, I'll actually make it so they're on the opposite side of the river, or on a boat in the river, depending on how they're moving north. And they will... And so it'll be the difficulty of the encounter is getting across whatever water to get to the tree is, while it's attacking them with apples and whatnot, throwing them really hard. That's what we're gonna do, right? That's the plan. I like that. That's super cool. We're gonna link that together. And speaking of linking things together, right? See, this is going to speed them along some things, right? So we have Westbridge, right? We have Westbridge and we have Archie Longstocking, right? He is tasked with primarily he is tasked with defeating the Hill Giants because everyone in his town expects him to, right? He should be the adventurer. He's a son of one of the Longstockings, of course. But he needs his equipment and stuff. He needs his family's adventuring equipment. He goes to their tomb to gear up, and then he's going to go deal with the Hill Giants, right? Liferlas has left Golden Fields. Why? Because there is sacred ground that is being attacked by Hill Giants, right? And all these awakened trees all throughout the land are going to go to defend this sacred territory in the Somber Hills up here, right? Which the Giants are attacking because they want they know it's special and magical in some way. You know, it's not super important why the Giants are attacking, just that they are attacking and causing problems. The Giants are going to cause problems. Obviously, that's not a big sell to the player. The Giants cause problems. Period. I don't have to justify it super complexly, right? And Liferlas and all the awakened trees have been sent to go defend it, right? And that's why they're following this river. It's somewhere in the Desserin Hills here, and they're sent to defend it. And so the party, I should literally write that down. How they get there is going to be like a more in the moment thing, right? Because at that point, right, it's more of player like, okay, clearly they know that this river is leading to somewhere, right? They're going to keep following the river until they get to the lower Somber Hills here, where the site is that the Giants are attacking. And they're gonna find out if they come from the river, if they do the Golden Field thing first. They're gonna find out that a secret grove of the Emerald Enclave need capital grove of the Emerald, capital E, Enclave, capital E. This is going to be a nice big old bold thing as well for an important name. Has come under attack. And the awakened trees were called to defend it. I swear some of my buttons on the keyboard aren't working when I hit them. I may not push them down far enough. Because it's not damaged. It's a good keyboard. A secret grove of the Emerald Crowd has come under attack. A secret grove in the Somber Hills has come under attack. And the awakened trees were called to defend it, right? That includes Liferlas and a bunch of other dudes around here, right? How much do I want to give away about? Because the actual encounter is this secret thing. Actually, we're gonna hold off on the secret thing. We're not gonna write down a whole lot about that during the stream about the secret Emerald Enclave Grove in here. That'll be cool and interesting to find out during the game. All right, just because that's gonna be an encounter, right? They're gonna help defend against the Hill Giants and whatnot and push them off. Depending on which they go first, right? These are two stories. These are two stories and two little adventures that are going to merge in order to defeat the Hill Giants, right? And they're probably going to want to See, this is the hard part of the DM. Do I try and get them to do both? Before we defeat the Hill Giants, right? This is obviously like 3 sessions down the line. This is 3 sessions down the line at the very least. Say it takes 1 session, right? Because the plan is 1 session they're going to go to either Westbridge or Golden Fields and follow those two tracks, right? They're going to Westbridge, and the first in one session is going to take them to go through the tomb, right? They're going to go to Golden Fields, and one session is going to take them to find the hidden. You know what? I'm thinking of more important things. Okay, so they're going to fight the apple tree. They're going to fight the apple tree. They're going to win. They're going to march forward. They're going to find another tree. They're going to find Lifferless. Lifferless can actually talk. And Lifferless is going to explain them exactly what's going on and lead them to the secret Emerald Enclave grove in here. I'm so excited. I'm tumbling over my words. Lifferless is going to lead them there and ask for their help to defend. And he'll ignore, and he doesn't care that they killed the apple tree if they do, or they ran away, whatever it was. If they killed the apple tree, he'll be like, okay, in recompense, will you come help defend instay of that tree, right? That help the Emerald Enclave, right? That'll be his kind of like, push you guys into it. They'll probably want to do it anyway, of course. But that will take a whole session of defending the Emerald Enclave Grove. I've got a rough idea for the map of there. I'm also tempted to throw in Uthgar Barbarians somewhere in here. I can't remember because my memory is terrible if they live in this area natively. I think they do. I know they definitely have some territory to the Evermoors. The problem is like getting a hook in somewhere over here at Waterdeep, right? It'll probably have to do something with the High Forest, right? I kind of know what I want the hook to be, but I don't know what the whole thing is. And I want to try and get this together. Let's one thing at a time. I'm talking so much, I'm getting tired. I'm tiring myself out. I am glad at the very least that we have some water to witten my weashel, as they say. Okay, and that's a little adventure from Golden Fields, right? The Westbridge thing is a little bit more. There's a little more text and stuff, but there's more lore and stuff going on there. And there's going to be some more lore for the Emerald Enclave little thing here. There's going to be some more characters. I'm just not going to write that down because I feel like that should be secret. Because Emerald Enclave should be a more secret kind of thing. So let's work on these Uthgar Barbarians. The High Forest. Okay, I probably need to look up more of this. First off, Uthgar. I don't... Is it Uthgar? Uthgardi? Of the north, and in their common worship, but the sort of Uthgar, the elven tribes venerated their own distinct totem animal. Each of these beasts had been conquered by Uthgar, wanted to represent the aspect of nature serves as a mediator between him and his barbaric tribesmen. Uthgardi, okay. Culture, religion, language, organization, history. Okay, history is probably important for me to try and find. Oh, I can tribes. Okay. Because the thing is, I want to find out which tribe might have actually lived here. Okay, so Black Lion, north of Silver Marches and Durwood. Okay. So up here. So that's Black Lion. Black Raven claimed the Ice Lakes. Ooh, Ice Lakes. That might not be on this map. That might be somewhere else. Frozen Far. Yeah. Okay, Blue Bear. Even their spring mount of Stone Stand. Ooh. Okay, Stone Stand is not going to be on this map, but I think I know it is kind of nearby. We might use the Blue Bear tribe. Gray Wolf. It doesn't say where they're at. I guess I can actually click on these Blue Bear tribe. Ooh, okay, so Delenbeer Vale. Gotcha. Okay. Yes, it is the Blue Bear tribe. So the Blue Bear tribe was a tribe of the Uthgardi barbarians that secretly held territory throughout the Delenbeer Vale. That they were believed to have been completely eradicated. They persevered through many years of hardship, survived the hardships of the north. Cairn of Stone Stand. Yes. Okay, so all of what I'm remembering from actually having playing Storm King's Thunder like 3 years ago. 3 years ago. I'm like remembering little tiny pieces to put together. So I'm actually able to like keep with the actual real lore and not having to homebrew everything. Okay, so the High Forest, and the uh, okay. First off, let's scroll up. Let's go up to here. Lastly, comma. I did say third. Lift less disappear from Golden Fields. Yes. Lastly, Guardy Barbarians. Gardt, which is a very weird Uthgard. I think it's Uthgard, not Uthgardi. That's what I'm remembering from actually having played the game. Uthgard Barbarians have been cited in force. They haven't attacked anyone. They've been cited in force. Around the. Ooh, I'm missing a space. I'm missing the correct spelling. Uthgar Barbarians have been cited in force around the high forest and EIYR. Okay. The high forest needs capitalized. These will need emboldened. Dylan BYR. EIYR. EIYR. Deliumber? That's a weird way to. Delimbeer. Okay, so I was close. I just wasn't. I Delimbeer. I was simplifying it in a very typical English accent. Delimbeer. The Delimbeer Vale, right? This is where they're from. Right, and I think we just leave that period, right? Lastly, Uthgardi barbarians have been sighted in force around High Forest and Delimbeer Vale, right? He's not going to give any more information. Are these Uthgardi barbarians a threat? Are these Uthgardi barbarians going to cause problems? No, he just says Uthgardi have been sighted in force around High Forest and Delimbeer Vale, right? Because what? Because the Waterdeep people understand. Okay, the Uthgardi barbarians. There's a lot of them. There's a lot of different tribes of them, but they usually don't cause problems, right? They might go to war against someone else and not bother us normal people, right? They're not bandits. They're not pillagers, right? They have their own way of doing things, and they might be going to war with some other. There might be two of them over there, two different tribes over there, causing some problems, right? For all we know, and they're fighting each other, and we don't care, right? Because we're the Lords of Waterdeep, and we don't care about the trivial things because Waterdeep is like a kick-ass place, right? Barbarians and the Delimbeer Vale, brother, we have Griffin cavalry, right? We have statues that we command with a rod that can take out armies here in water. We have multiple statues who can individually take out armies, and floating castles and whatnot and everything can be shooed away because of our incredible defenses here at the City of Splendor, Waterdeep. Right? They have no care about these barbarians out here in the Delimbeer Vale in the High Forest. But we do. The DM and the party does perhaps want some information here. So they've already had some adventures in the Forlorn Hills, right? They took out the ogres here. And the Ogre King is dead, right? And what they find out, more so in the High Forest, how much of this do I want the adventurers to know, right? Let's start out with the barbarians. Let's see. I'm gonna get tired of typing this. Let's type it a lot. Gardt. Hold on, I gotta turn on my AC again because it stopped. Um, things. Turn that up. Uthgardt Barbarians. Okay, we're going to talk about the Uthgardt Barbarians and what is actually going on here, not what the Waterdeep guys think might be going on. Uthgardt Barbarians living in the Dillenbeer. I almost want to copy and paste it, but it's just as fast to type it. Even though it's hard to type because it's such a weird. In the Dillenbeer Vale. Living in the Dillenbeer Vale. Have been clashing with ogres, right? They've been clashing with ogres. Why? Well, in the Forlorn Hills, the adventure party has already killed the Ogre King, right? And without a king to lead the ogres, what are the ogres going to do? Well, ogres, as far as like giants are concerned, are like the weakest essentially, aside from maybe like Giantkin, who arguably are maybe a bit higher, maybe a bit lower, but they're bottom of the rung, right? And because of what's all going on here with the giants and the premise of Storm King's Thunder, they want to raise their position on the Ordning, right? And how they want to do that is, of course, under the Ogre King, right? A leader is like they're going to go raise a bunch of towns, get a bunch of power, cause a bunch of problems, and take over some territory. And they're going to be look good in the eyes of their god and whatnot. And they'll be given a better place in the Ordning when it gets reformed or whatnot. But they and their leader got taken out. So the second best thing for these dumb ogres is like, okay, we are going to flee. First, we got to flee because our king was just killed, right? The Forlorn Hills are not safe. Our king was killed. We're going to flee north to the forest, the high forest, because we know where that's it. And the Delmere Vale holds secret, the Blue Bear tribe there. And the Blue Bear tribe has had the ogres come sort of not, they're going to the high forest. They don't really know how to get there, right? It's tough. They're going north, and they end up running into the Uthgardt, and the Uthgardt got to fight them. So they've been clashing with the ogres. There's not clear war, because they're heading to the high forest with ogres. Fleeing to. I need an A there, don't I? I need an L, not an A. I need the two E's. I need the L. Fleeing to the after the death of Uga King. So the party. So here's another way in for the party to get to work on the hill giants, right? Ogres are fleeing the Forlorn Hills. That's so the Uthgar barbarians, the Blue Bear tribe is there, and they had to come out of hiding a little bit because these ogres were running through their territory and fleeing to the high forest. Why? First off, they want to get away from the Forlorn Hills, or whoever might kill them, right? They want to get away from the barbarians now, so they're going to go into the high forest. And what do they want to do? They want to get into contact with the hill giants. The hill giants, they're not that much stronger than them, but they are higher on the ordning ladder than they are, right? And now that their Ogre King is gone, they need someone to work with because they've lost a lot of power. They lost a lot of opportunity, right? This is way too smart for them to think. But they need to go find someone to get under as subservience and help, so they can get their own stuff going, right? So they can't lose any more things, but they can only gain stuff. So they might as well try to do something, even if it's under the hill giants. Whatever accomplishments they have might trickle down onto them if they help the hill giants out now, since their main shot at raising their ordning, their rank in the ladder is shot for the most part. So they've got essentially a backup plan, right? So they flee to the high forest after the death of Overkek, and um, so the Uthgar barbarians. I don't exactly know what I want to do with the whole party going this way. It depends on which direction they go. Whether they go right to the high forest or into the Delenbeer Vale at the first, and who they run into first. More ogres or the barbarians or the Blue Bear tribe. The barbarians living in the Delenbeer Vale have been clashed with ogres fleeing to the high forest after the death of Ogre. And the ogres um, what's the best way to say this? Holding up in the high forest, the Ho forests, the high forests. Want to make contact with the hill giants of the Desarin Hills. And the party's going to get here, and if the party goes to High Forest and fights those ogres and stuff, it's going to be true. The hill giants are going to come to High Forest to negotiate with the ogres, right? They're going to be like, okay, here are terms. You guys don't have a king anymore, right? But but you're willing to help us now, as long as it also helps us get higher in the ordering in our social ladder, and whatnot for the giants. And what we're going to do is we're going to make terms, right? You're going to serve us wholly, right? There's gonna be like some little thing, and the ogres are going to serve under us and stuff, and they'll get a little bit of the spoils of whatever we accomplish, right? We've already been raiding stuff on the long road. Why are they raiding stuff on the long road? Why aren't they going after Bellard or Junder's Pass or attacking anything else? They live in Desirin Hills. Well, because the main trade road is this big red line, right? It's from here, from Waterdeep to Triboar, and it can be all the way up to Mirabar, or it'll go to Everlund, the two other bigger cities in Silvery Moon and whatnot. This little road here is a big little route, aside from the river as well, which also works. They're gonna also attack. If the party travels too far up here, they're gonna get attacked by hill giants, especially in the Desarin Hills, right? Because this is because Waterdeep just doesn't know everything that's going on, right? They only hear the initial things of what's going on. They don't hear that, yes, in a couple of weeks, stories of attacks of caravans all around the Desarin Hills are going to start coming out. They'll hear that while they start moving up this way, but not quite there yet. The Blue Bear tribe. I can't spell it all today. I can't type it all today. I can't spell it at all. The Blue Bear tribe. I'm going to have to bold a bunch of stuff in this thing, but I'm going to type it all out first. The Blue Bear tribe that lives in Delaware is preparing its forces. It's not a big tribe, right? It's a small tribe, but they're going to prepare their forces to attack and remove the ogres from the high forest. Definitely can't type today. So So the party is going to do one of two things. They're if they go down this way, right? The barbarians, they're going to hear out. The barbarians are out here doing that, right? They're going to go from Waterdeep. Say that's the direction they choose to go, right? They choose to go here and figure out what the barbarians do it. They're going to go from Waterdeep. They're probably going to go back down to Daggerford and take the same route that they just took, right? That they just came from, right? That I told them they came from Succumber and Jukland, Julkun. Sorry. They're going to go probably search the Delambir Valley or to the High Forest. They might go to Uluvin. It's probably Uluvin. They're going to do one of two things, right? As far as just even this little thing, they're either going to go to the Delambir Valley and try and find the barbarians they've heard about first, and be like, "Hey, and what's going to happen? There's going to be an encounter of some sorts, right? It's either going to be they're going to come out and be like, Ooh. It actually kind of depends. The encounter can go a lot of ways. This is where like actual D&D, like the actual mechanics and stuff of it, and the rolls and dice and whatnot help the situation and me figuring this out. It's going to go a couple of ways, a couple of different things. My throat is starting to get exhausted because I've been talking for 2 hours straight, excitedly about this stuff. They're going to run to the barbarians. If they go to the Delambir Vale, they're going to run to the barbarians. Depending on whether they're being stealthy in the Delambir Vale, try and not get seen or not. Means if they're stealthy and they're successful, right, they're going to come up against at least a patrol of the Blue Bear tribe or something, right? And from there, it's up to them. Are they just going to attack the barbarians, or are they going to try and talk to them, right? Conversely, if they're not trying to be stealthy, or they fail their stealth, right, the patrol or whatnot is going to find them, and they're going to talk to them, right? The patrol at first, if they're not surprised. Actually, the party could be surprised too, but there's like 3 different options, right? Either party surprises them and picks what to do. Neither of them are surprised and they just run into each other. And then the third one is the barbarians surprise them, right? It'll be determined by stealth and perception rolls, right? Those three things. So number two. So option number 2 is they both see each other. The barbarians are like, you guys aren't the ogres we're trying to fight. Leave here now, and tell everyone else you're not allowed to come to Delambir Vale, right? It's off limits. And that'll open a dialogue, and whatever dialogue will happen, right? What will really help the party is like, hey, we went and fought some ogres nearby. If the party brings up the fact that they killed a bunch of ogres, then the barbarians might take them back to their camp and be like, hey, these guys fought ogres. They might be willing to help us out in this fight because we don't have a whole lot of people actually, right? The tribe is not very, very big. And what they want to do is if everything goes out right with the diplomatically, right? The barbarians can be like, okay, we're going to go attack these ogres we found in the High Forest. They fled from the Forlorn Hills because you guys kicked them out. We need to finish clearing them out because they've been causing some problems. Not specifically, like they just don't, the barbarians just don't like them in their territory, right, at all, which is the Delambir Vale. And the High Forest isn't really their territory, but they haven't been fighting for a long time, and they're kind of itching for a fight, so they want to go fight the ogres. And honestly, the barbarians are a little inexperienced because a lot of them are young, and they don't think some of them don't think they can handle it. So that's why they're enlisting the help of the party, right? I kind of want to write all this down, but it's a lot of like if ands and if whats. I know what it is, and I will remember it for the session, right? Conversely, if the barbarians get the drop on the party, they will not hesitate to just attack them, right? They will not hesitate to attack them. And that does not cut off the idea of them working with the barbarians. If the barbarians go to attack them, the barbarians will attack them, and whoever gets someone knocked unconscious first, if the barbarians knock a party member, they probably won't. They probably won't knock a party member unconscious. They might. If they get the right one and they get the right opportunity and the right setup, yes, they will. Especially if they get surprised. But they will either, if they knock a party member unconscious first, what they're going to do is like, leave this place. This is territory of the Blue Bear tribe. No one else but us are allowed in the Delambir Vale. Stick to your human, roads and whatnot. Even though the Blue Bear tribe is pretty much all humans. I don't know what a derogatory thing for, like, oh, you're not barbarian, right? He's being derogatory as a barbarian. He's being derogatory against like non-barbarians, like sophisticated people. I don't know what I don't know what the the like pseudo almost derogatory term is for that, which is why human is the first one to come to word. Um, and then the party is gonna be like either yes or no, we're gonna kill you because you knocked one of our guys unconscious. Transversely, the Uthgard tribe, if they're attacked and um, one of their guys dies or goes unconscious, right? I'll say it's unconscious instead of like normally them dying. I'll the next guy who goes after that happens, he'll be like, is going to try and call to stop to the fight and just try and de-escalate the situation so they can take their injured back home so they don't die. They don't actually want to fight with these people, right? They attacked them because they were opportunistic, but they'll offer something in return for letting them live. And the party might choose, okay, if you're going to offer something, you have it, right? So if we kill you anyway, we're going to get that, so it doesn't matter, right? We might get more. You might have more of whatever you're offering us. And I'll keep a secret what they're going to offer, right? I'm going to keep a secret. I'm going to keep that secret what they're going to offer. I think that's important, and that's actually it's gonna set them back a lot, right? Unless the party just de-escalates and talks with them more, and just brings up the fact that they were fighting the ogres and heard that there were barbarians here. Unless they can diplomatically talk through this a lot better, right? That's the worst case scenario is them being ambushed by the barbarians, which is a situation is them getting ambushed by the barbarians and then beating one of the barbarians. But conversely, they might head to Ulvin, skip Dillenbeer Vale, and go to the High Forest. And I think what they're going to do is what they're going to do in the High Forest, they're going to run into a battle that is occurring, right? There's a battle occurring between the Blue Bear tribe and the ogres. Or to kind of slow down the session, I want it to be a fight, because otherwise they'd run across the battlefield, right? If I wasn't so worried about trying to structure the timing and the amount of encounters in the session, I would just be like, okay, for story wise, to keep the mystery going, I would just have it be a battlefield where there's dead barbarians and dead ogres, but there's also a dead hill giant. But what it's gonna be a bunch of ogres and one hill giant fighting a bunch of barbarians. It'll be a big fight, and they'll interrupt, and they'll have to either pick a side or maybe they'll watch and see what the result is. We'll kind of find out from there. I'm not typing anything right now, and this is kind of oof. What should I write down to remind myself of all this? Because I'm not going to remember this all perfectly how I want it to go. It'll be fine during the session. It always is. I can improv unbelievably well for how bad my memory is. Or I guess to make up because of how bad my memory is. Party. Yeah, party. The party will either go to the High Forest or the IYR. The Dellenbeer Vale. And they will either, I should say encounter, they will either encounter a barbarian scout party in the Vale, or they will encounter battle between the giants and barbarians in the high forest. I don't know how to spell. Okay, let's start working on bolding this stuff so I can pick it out, so I can read through it. Let's see, Uthgard barbarians. I should capital B that then. Gullimbir Vale B. I first. Where's one of the high? I'm just gonna bold it all and then reread it all really quick. Try and get through this. I'll bold Vale too. Okay. So they go for the high force stuff. The high force is where all the action is actually going to go down after this, which is what we're going to keep in the dark as far as the rest of this. Uthgar barbarians living in the Delaware Vale have been clashing with ogres fleeing to the high forest after the death of Ogre Keck. And the ogres holding up in the high forest want to make contact with the hill giants of the Desperate Hills. The Blueberry tribe is preparing its forces to attack and remove the ogres from the high forest. The party will either go to the high forest or the Delaware Vale, and they will either encounter a barbarian scouting party. I should lowercase a barbarian scouting party in the Vale, or they will encounter a battle between the giants and barbarians in the high forest. And then from there, I kind of want them to work with the barbarian tribe to defeat these guys, who are working together with the hill giants, right? And here's the thing, right? We've put together 3 different directions that they can go for this next session, right? I set 3 sessions worth of stuff is already getting built today, and getting prepped for and planned for. Right? They're going to pick one of 3 things, one of 3 little adventures that they're going to have to need to do before they move on to the main thing. I think. I guess they don't have to, but it would definitely be easier to get all these guys on their side. First off, they're going to go to Westbridge, right? Or they can go to Westbridge. They can go to Westbridge, and they can meet Archie Longstocking, who is from a long line of adventurers and heroes, who needs to get all his gear so he can go and defeat the hill giants. Right? He can't go defeat the hill giants on his own. They're going to find that out. They're going to find out he's not competent enough. He knows that as well, right? They're going to go get a bunch of equipment from the tombs, right? And he's going to come back and he's going to be like, he's going to prepare himself at Westbridge to attack the hill giants. He's going to gather information, right? So if they go do that, if they finish that little bit, they're going to all go back to Westbridge, and he's going to be like, okay, I'm gonna take these magic items, I'm going to prepare them myself, and I'm not going to go fight the hill giants, but I'm going to go gather information. So you guys are free for a couple weeks while I gather information, and then come back, right? That's how I entice them to go do one of these other adventures. Then come back after like a week or a month or whatnot, however long, and together we will go assault the hill giants, right? I'm going to go find some information of where they actually live, and then he's going to find out they're in the Desperate Hills. They're going to go to the Golden Fields. If they go to the Golden Fields, similar thing, right? They're going to find out, hey, Liferlass is gone. People want to find out where Liferlass is. He's an awakened tree, right? They're going to go to Brightwood Inn, Wormfoot, hear rumors about all sorts of trees traveling up the Desserin River here. And they're actually going to see one. They're going to find one, and there's going to be like this Emerald Enclave grove that is under attack from these hill giants. They're going to help defend it, right? And at the end, all those people are going to be like, okay, hey, we need to get rid of these hill giants. We should work together, right? And of course, like theoretically, if they all went and attacked the hill giants together, that group probably won't win either on their own, right? So like, okay, we're gonna go figure out. They're gonna say the same thing that Archie would if they go there first, right? We need to go gather some information about the hill giants. We fended off their assaults for the most part, and we think we're good after you've come and helped us, right? We're gonna find out where they live, and we're gonna make plans to attack it, right? Come back in a few weeks, right? Same thing. Come back in a few weeks, and we'll be ready for our proper assault, right? Now, like if that's the first place they go, right? They hear that, same thing is going to go on. We end the session there. They go do something else. But if that's the second place they go to, right? They realize, oh, hey, guys, the Archie Longstocking dude from Westbridge, he wants to help out and fight these hill giants. If they go here like second or whatnot, you guys should get in contact with him and be like, hey, we met the adventuring party too. We should all group up together, find information on the hill giants, and then make an assault on their fortress or whatever, their home. Because hill giants are really tough. Compared to ogres, they're a lot tougher. Eventually, a lot of the giants are very, very similar, and I got to make differences in like tactics, numbers, and technology and equipment. But for now, like ogres to hill giants is just a straight up upgrade of character. Let's see. Dranoel says hello. Hey, how's it going? I'm starting to wrap up the finishing touches on my whole thing, and where are we at? Okay, so yeah, if they did the Golden Field stuff second, right, they can kind of see that. But third, right, I also want to like push them, like technically with those two, they could do any of these two, and they could probably win the fight with the hill giants, right, if they really want to push, really want to try. But obviously they can also pick to go down the barbarian path, either first or second or third, as far as these other little adventures to fight the hill giants. So they'll go to the Delambir Vale. And they're either going to run into the barbarians while they're fighting the ogres and giants in the high forest and kind of get into contact with them there, or they're going to go straight to the Delambir Vale, get into contact with them there. Maybe have a fight, maybe not have a fight. But I want them to be on good terms, so I'm going to try and lean in to them doing good and whatnot. If they have a fight, barbarians respect power. So even if as long as they don't just straight up just decapitate someone, intentionally, then the barbarians might just be like, okay, you wounded them, you're clearly stronger, deserve respect and whatnot, and they can be on good terms. But they're trying to fight the ogres and hill giants. They're going to find the ogres and hill giants in the forest. They're going to build up their own little plan to kind of run them out of the high forest, right? The ogres moved to the high forest because the party had already defeated the ogres and the ogre king in the Forlorn Hills. They fled to the high forest up here, and at the end of the day, they want to work with the Uthgar barbarians to assault the high forest and clear all the ogres and their new hill giant allies out. And they're going to push them out into the Desrin Hills, where either this is the first thing they do, and the barbarians are going to be like, okay, look, we've cleared this all out, and they've all fled, or we've killed them all. But these giants are there's something wrong with them, and if they come anywhere near, we're going to attack them more. But it's very dangerous, right? The party won't immediately get like, oh, they want to go fight more giants, right? From the barbarians, right? The barbarians just like, we don't like them, but they're not going to cause us any problems right now because we just cleared them out of the high forest. That's all we care about. But if the party comes here like third or second, is like, oh, hey, we've got some Emerald Enclave guys, or we've got some hero from Westbridge who's going to help us attack the hill giants and clean them out forever, right? They've either this is a third group, or they've decided we want to attack after like the second thing. They're going to group up and be like, okay, we're going to take either two of these little adventures and the allies they've gained along them, or maybe all three. And they're going to be like, we're going to assault the Desrin Hills and the hill giants. And they're going to attack it. And this is going to be like session 4 or 5 or 6 or something when they actually do that. So I don't need to plan for that. But they're slowly like building up these allies along the way, right? Archery isn't a very strong ally, but he has some strong magical items, right? Where that's their big benefit from there, right? The Emerald Enclave, they don't know a lot about. And they're not very strong, especially not now, especially not here in the Somber Hills where they are getting attacked, which is why they had to call the Awakened Trees and stuff. But they have resources, right? They have magical spell casting. If one of the party member dies, the Emerald Enclave is the only one that they're going to be able to like get him resurrected, because I don't think they have a cleric in the party typically. They might tonight, depends on who they end up picking. And the barbarians are also the most militarily strongest force that they're gonna group up with. So with any two of these, right, they have the magical items and powers of Archie Longstocking and his family's equipment. The Emerald Enclave, pairing these two together would be really tough to take on the hill giants. But the Uthgar barbarians are very strong, and maybe can't take them out on their own, but they would be very, very helpful, right? All different ways to help them kind of lead them in to the hill giants and the Desrin Hills, and and plan for this huge, cool little climactic battle of the assault of the Desserin Hills and the Hill Giant fortress, cave, whatever it is. We'll keep that in the secret, at least for a few sessions, until they find that out. What do I need to do now that we have all the planned stuff out and the overarching synopsis of where we're gonna go for the next, like, I don't know, year of play? Probably this is gonna take, as we play so intermittently. Like, this is a family game that I play intermittently every month or two. We might get one game in, so it's very, very slow. We're essentially running Storm King's Thunder module, but speed run because of how speed run and watered down because of how sparse we play and how little I think they're going to remember. Okay. What do we need to work on? We need to work on character sheets at the very least. We got Dungeon Master's Vault. These are their 5th level characters. They are now 6th level, having defeated Ogre Keck, right? I kind of sped them to 5th level because that's where stuff actually gets interesting. I might actually leave them at 5th level. They've only played, I think, 1 session at 5th, and I want it to be 2. And I don't want to level them up too fast, right? Because I don't want them to beat. Yeah, I think we're going to keep them at 5, but I do still need to go over all these character sheets. And I'll have to print them out separately. Because these guys, what I didn't do, I didn't just like give them all their gold and stuff, have them write down their own character sheets or keep their own character sheets and whatnot. And there's so much stuff. Wallbanger. Hi, Salty. We just got the summer and starter value. Don't know what to do to get the summer started. Okay. First off, I think the hot springs have opened. So in case, you're already playing multiplayer, so you can just sit in the bed. But the hot springs is a faster way to get your energy back. That's one thing to remember as far as Stardew is concerned. Otherwise, in summer, I think, is it cranberries? Cranberries, I think, is the cash crop that regrows. That's the big one. That's super good. I like to start out catching all the fish on day 1 that I can on a regular, like, day 1 non-rainy day for the summer. That's kind of nice. But you kind of can't do that because you need to plant all your crops. The cash crop is cranberries, and I think, if I remember correctly, you need melon, tomato. I forget what the bundle stuff is. You'll have to look at what the bundle stuff is. You want to plant all the bundle stuff, of course, but cranberry or blueberries. I can't remember which one is spring, which is summer, which one's fall. Those are the 2 cash crops for each of those years. And they're really expensive, so hopefully you've saved a bunch of money for the first day. But that's the big thing. And if you don't have chicken coops and barns going, that's definitely something you need to get worked on. I think sooner rather than later. And I think that's it. But let's see. Our dwarf cleric. We're going to edit this guy. He's a hill dwarf. He's a dwarf. He's a cleric. He's got his health. He's life domain as well. We have like 30k right now. Perfect. That's plenty of money for planting cranberries. Let us see. We've got ourselves equipment. Okay, how much cash does this guy have on him now? 7,500 or 750, I should say. We want to up that number. No buildings yet. Relaxed run. I think buildings are nice because managing cows and chickens is much more relaxed than watering like 200 plants every day. You guys are probably going to plant like, I don't know, 50 cranberries or whatnot. But I recommend doing buildings because it's a lot easier. Because as buildings get better, you're not adding, and you make more money off of them with better animals. You're not actually adding a lot of extra like time, and it's kind of fresh and new and whatnot. You have to be able to buy like feed and stuff. Remember to do that. But I think buildings are actually more relaxed, personally, than trying to farm super heavy. Trying to get, because to farm efficiently is like, oh, you gotta like water a ton and plant a lot, so you waste a lot of time watering, waste a lot of energy running, watering, and then you're out of energy. You gotta like eat stuff, or you want to put sprinklers down or something too, right? So you don't have to water as much. So you gotta like go get the equipment for sprinklers. It's a lot harder to do all that. And this is a big detour from D&D, but Stardew is cool, so I want to talk about it. Um, so you guys, uh, so what you can do is you can set up a building, right, and you do like cows and stuff. They just need milked every day. Even if you have 12 cows, right, it's milked really quick. You don't eat up much, if any, energy, right. You don't need anything except hay to restock it every single day, which is pretty easy to deal with. It's just a lot of primary investment before you get it rolling. Thinking about going for the gold watering can. The gold one I don't like. The gold one does the 3x3 area. Stop at iron. Stop at the steel one because it's the 5 long one, and so you can plant in rows of 5 and just go down. The gold is probably not good until you just go straight to iridium, and you can do the 5x3, which is really good. So I wouldn't recommend that because it doesn't end up saving you as much time as far as watering. It's a little bit better for efficiency and whatnot. But yeah, it's mostly about like getting your other upgrades to gold is pretty good though. Like the axe, so you can cut down the hardened fell logs for hardwood. So you can do all your upgrades for other buildings and whatnot. And then the pick, of course, to get through to different places and get ore and save resources in the mines and whatnot. What was I doing? Okay. Bunny. So the only thing we're changing on the character sheet that I need to change is how much money they have because they have accumulated some amount of cash. They ended up spending some last time as well, and I don't have this all like written down perfectly what they spent, what they do have, but we'll give them more money. We give them 1250 gold pieces. We're gonna save that there. Okay. Go back to the character list. I'm gonna have to print these out later. We won't waste time trying that out on stream. They're not leveling, so nothing else crazy is going on either. I can't edit the amount of money they have here. I have to go right back in here. 1250. Save. Back. Monk. Ranger. Okay, so the Ranger did have a lot less money. I think that was not because I took it all away when they were kidnapped and whatnot, but I think they did actually have spent a lot more. They did spend a lot more some other time in a prior session. Is it all updated? Yes. 1, 2, 3. Rogue. Rogue is next. Edit. 1250. Save. Paladin. Let's see, Mom plays the Paladin. 1250. Paladin has really good AC. Oh man, it's starting to warm up now that I've had the ace. He has 20 armor. Paladin's done. Fighter. 1250. Okay. Wizard. We'll do next. 1250. We'll just give them all the same amount. For variants, I probably should change it for them. Because I think it feels more realistic if I give them all a different like amount of money, but I'm not going to do that this time. We're going to see how that goes. Because last time they were like, "Oh, I'll give you some money because I don't have enough to get this thing that I wanted." Because they were doing some shopping and buying last session. Um, that's all of them, right? Yes, Barbarian was the last one. Okay, so character classes are handled. I'll print those out as needed. D&D magic item cards. Okay. So there's a couple of things that the party already has. We wrote it down in initial notes from last time. Okay, so Gale got Revenge, Slippers of Spider Climb, Jab of Lightning, 1 heal and 1 greater heal. So here I have a bunch of healing potions printed out. We'll cut these out. What I need to do, yeah, I need to like straighten up these things here. I wanted the ruler out and I just deleted it. Okay. What I found out is that these were not aligned together when I printed these all out. Because I actually made these from scratch. And I didn't. I didn't even them up for the easy cutting. Okay, so what do we want to do? They have Slippers of Spider Climbing, Gauntlets of Ogre Power, and Wand of Seas. I don't have it written here that someone has the Gauntlets of Ogre Power, but I know the Paladin does have that. They also had a Wand of Secrets. I know these were on the first page one from last time because I set them up like this, so I remembered. Um, +1 long sword. I think our fighter has that. I don't think anyone has the braces of defense. I'll probably have to sort through all this. What I really need to do is I need to make new. Ooh, they have the storm boomerang too. I think maybe. I think they do. I think Gar Barbarian have the storm boomerang. No one had the boots of speed. Keep the mount back. I think I gave this to them. I can't remember because the Cape of the Montebac is something that I give to a lot of parties because it's very, very good if they don't have someone who can cast any sort of teleportation or something. I know I gave it to the last game I ran for not my family. I did give the Cape of the Montebac to that party, and they used it to cause problems for themselves and me at the same time. Eagle Whistle, Elven Chain, Giant Slayer Battle Axe. I think they got the Giant Slayer Battle Axe. Maybe not. If I didn't write it down, I don't remember. Oh man. Well, I'll probably have to go through them and ask them what they had again, what they remember. This is the problem with my memory and why I should have taken better notes. Um, there's all this here. What I need to do is I need to like I'm gonna copy. I need to like add a page break or something. Insert Control Enter and V, and then paste all this for potion of for. And they say more potions of healing, but we're gonna add some more magical items. So what items are we gonna add? We're gonna add a ring of protection first. Ring of protection. Ring rare requires attunement. I think I might not worry about attunement stuff. Z paste without formatting. Good. Okay. Okay. Ring of protection is good. What's the other one? Ooh. Honestly, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Actually, I want to keep the swords. I want to keep Comet Fall Seer because Comet Fall is actually pretty strong. Um, so I don't. I'm gonna renege on us putting all of them down here, and I'm gonna print it out separately. Maybe later. Actually, they probably won't get to use Comet Fall yet, so I'll hold off on that. And what I'm gonna do, adamantine. Adamantine armor. Adamantine. No, actually, I should go back here and just name it what it is, right? C V. Paste without formatting. Yes. Okay. So it keeps the formatting on the page. And I don't want adamantine armor. I want Arthan's armor. Paste without formatting. Arthan's armor. I need to actually put this here. Okay. And so we're gonna. I'm not going to care about the strength thing. We're going to just save that. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do without formatting. The weight doesn't matter. We're not playing that kind of game. Z Paste that format. There we go. I need to go back here so I can grab this, C, and then without formatting, lengthens it. We'll do that. That'll be that. So Arthur's armor, made of interlocking metal rings. Chainmail includes a layer of unique fabric worn underneath to prevent chafing. Because the sooner is reinforced with adamantine, one of the hardest substances in existence. While you're in it, any critical hit against you becomes a normal hit. Okay. And the sword, I'll do the sword thing when necessary. We'll wait for that for later. That means this is good. I'm done with that. Okay, here. Is there anything else I need to take care of? I might throughout the week figure out some additional magic items that might be on sale in Waterdeep that are helpful for them. It's kind of hard because I don't remember which magic items of the list that I already have there, and I've tried to sell them before. I wonder how many of those I'm gonna put back onto the selling block for Waterdeep, but I should come up with some new unique stuff as well. That'll be throughout the week. I'll work on that. I think we've done more than enough for today on putting all this together. So let's go over the whole thing. All right. So at the end of last session, they had rescued all the villagers in the Forlorn Hills that had been captured by the Ogre King, who is leading the ogres to attack, human villages and stuff. And they were partially successful. The session before last, they had. No, let's not go too far back. I'm getting tired. I need to get done with this and not to talk over this for another half hour. The party had defeated him and disbanded the ogre tribe that lives here. Right? They rescued refugees and they needed to take them somewhere. So yes, Succumber lays in ruins and the townfolk need a place to go after the party has rescued the villagers of Succumber. The first option is Julkun. Oh, need to zoom in a little bit more. The first option is Julkun down here, but when the party and refugees arrive to find the town destroyed by ogres as well. Instead, they decide to march the refugees along the Dellenbeer River. That's this without here. You can't really read it, but it says Dellenbeer River down this way. To Daggerford. There they find refuge for the refugees, and they head to the City of Splendor, Waterdeep, to spend their hard-fought money and find their next adventure. In Waterdeep, the party takes time to relax and recover from the treacherous adventure. And during their week of rest, one of the Lords of Waterdeep give the weekly report to the great city. First, travel to the north of Red Lurch along the long road over here is banned due to attacks on caravans between the towns of Red Lurch and Tribor. Until this is resolved, caravans suggested to take the Desserin Road as a detour, which is this one over here, or book travel for passage on the Desserin River, which is this little river that goes all around here. Second, the town of Succumber and Jokland have been attacked by ogres and ransacked. The ogres have already been slain by traveling merchants, and refugees have taken hold in Daggerford. Third, Lifrlas had disappeared from Goldenfields. And I don't know how you lose a whole tree, but if anyone sees a walking oak, please direct it back to Goldenfields. Lastly, Uthgar barbarians have been sighted in force around the High Forest and the Dellenbeer Vale. And thus, the party must decide of those. He said 4 things, but one of them was actually something they had done in the Forlorn Hills. So there's 3 things for them to investigate, right? 3 different directions that they can go. And they have... so they can either go to Westbridge, which Westbridge... and what I mean is they go to the long road to investigate. And we would play that out a little bit, but they'd get to Westbridge at some point, right? There's not a lot that lives there, but the Harvest Inn is the big main spot run by Hervin Dardragon. I have some notes on who it was founded, but the townsfolk would tell the party once they get there, the Hill Giants have actually been the ones attacking the caravans along the one road. Westbridge has not come under attack, obviously, of course, as the townsfolk say, because the Giants fear Archie Longstocking, son of the Longstocking family of adventurers, who plans to head out and defeat the Giants like his fathers before him. And, of course, they're going to seek out Archie, and they're going to find that he's not much different from them, really. But before he makes his move on the Hill Giants, he plans to head to the Long Stalking Tombs and recover the artifact of his fathers, the artifacts of his fathers, to aid him in battle. He offers the party to help him collecting them. Although he has not been inside the tomb, he knows what is stored inside. First, he's looking for the sword Cometfall, buried with the town founder, Javier Longstocking. Second, he's looking for Arthan's armor. Ooh, apostrophe S. Ooh, I'll have to change that. Lastly, he has 5 Mithlin's ring, whose power he does not know. When Archie finds all these items, he will return to Westbridge before he sets out to face the giants. I should say to gather information. I should say before he sets out alone to get information on the whereabouts of giants. Golden Fields. So this is where Lifferlast was said that he had left. Lifferlast is an awakened tree. So as they go there, they're going to find out Lifferlast is an awakened tree that has lived in Golden Fields and left the town for the first time. The town folks do not know why. I should clean this up. Has lived in Golden Fields and has been its protector for hundreds of years. He has never left the town before. So this is the Faerun map. This is part of the Faerun map, right? This is the map for Storm King's Thunder, which I'm kind of trying to do a like Storm King's Thunder light / speedrun campaign kind of thing for the parents, for mom, the aunts and uncle, and the family and whatnot. And we're starting down here during I guess the beginning of the what's all going on, and it's pretty interesting actually from what I've all put together. The premise is the Giants had some crazy stuff go on, and actually, technically, the whole story is there was an adventuring party that, or no, sorry, I should go on way before that. Giants hate dragons; they hate their guts so much, and there's a huge history from it. A while ago, there were some adventurers who had fought the Cult of the Dragon. Right, this is the first 5th edition adventure, which was a couple of different little adventures actually. There was the Cult of the Dragon. There was the Rise of Tiamat and all that. Essentially, there's a Cult of the Dragon trying to resurrect Tiamat, and they try to, and an adventuring party stops them. The giant. And they were assisted by some giants, but the giant god, I forget his name off the top of my head. He was like, "Hey, it's kind of pathetic that honestly all our giants weren't the ones to go stop the dragons from bringing their dragon demigod back. I want to shake things up, actually. So we're going to shake up the ordning, which is like the social ladder structure of like the giants. Each giant type is technically given like rank as far as which type is more powerful, has higher respect and whatnot, and how it's deserved and stuff. And there's a whole society around that between them, even though they have inter-societies amongst themselves and their own little ranking. And so it's like, okay, that's getting destroyed, right? No more of that. You guys are going to fight for a new ordning, right? Now, prove to me of your species, your race's greatness. So go do things to impress me, right? That's what's going on. Like, that's the premise. And ogres are actually a giant. It's not super clear because they're one of the few races that don't have giant in their name. That is actually a giant race. And the party here fought the first little like group of them in the Forlorn Hills, And now they're going to slowly kind of work their way up that old Ordning ladder to stop the giants from actually wrecking havoc to all of Faerun and the Sword Coast specifically. But we're slowly getting there. It's a long time until they find out all the extra intricate stuff that's going on as well. I'm going to cut out a lot of the other reasons why the Ordning is happening, because technically the Storm Giant King is also got kidnapped by a dragon, and that's another reason. But I'm gonna ignore that. Like, that's just too much for for my family to deal with and stuff. So we're gonna simplify all of this. But yeah, we've got a bunch of cool stuff. Let's see. I was talking about Liferlas and stuff. So Liferlas is an awakened tree that lived in Golden Fields and has been a protector for hundreds of years. He has never left the town before, and the townsfolk do not know why he has left now. He has left now. He walked north. That's all they know. If the party goes to Womford or Barwin, they will hear of sightings of a walking tree heading north along the Desserin River, right? They're going to go up here. Desserin Valley, Desserin River goes this way. And if the party travels along the river, they will encounter an awakened apple tree going north along the river. A secret grove of the Emerald Enclave has come to attack, and awakened trees were called to defend it. Right? That's a simplification, not to give away all the spoilers of everything that's going to happen in that little area in the battle and what's going to go on. But that's little arc of the adventures that they could go on next week. High Forest, the other way. The Uthgar barbarians living in the river have been clashing with ogres fleeing to the High Forest up here. So all the ogres they killed here, the remaining ones are fleeing to the High Forest because of what the party has just immediately done. And there are some Uthgar barbarian tribes that live here, the Blue Bear tribe specifically. And the ogres have kind of run into them, the clashing. And the barbarians do not like the ogres encroaching on their territory for whatever reason. Whatever reason was, they don't care. They don't want them anywhere close to their territory. And so they are preparing forces to attack and remove the ogres from the High Forest. The party will either go straight directly to the High Forest, or they'll go to the Delaware Valley. You know, whatever that is, I've got contingencies for both. And they'll either encounter barbarian scouts if they go to the Vale, or they'll encounter a battle between giants and barbarians in the High Forest. And from there, I kind of want to lead them into allying with the Uthgar barbarians to clear them out of the High Forest, and then ultimately help them. All these things are going to lead to them helping fight the hill giants in the Desserin Hills and assault their fortress or base or whatever is up here, which is it's going to be more difficult and more complex than the hill giants had in the Forlorn Hills, because hill giants are bigger, better, and so is the party. You just got to make it more complicated. And then that's a primary next almost year probably of adventure that our party is going to get up on, because of how sparsely we get our games in. Right, each of these little quests is one session essentially, and the assault might be on the final hill giant base is probably going to be one or two. So I expect at least anywhere from 4 to 6 sessions will probably get us through all this stuff. It's hard to tell. But that's the plan. And man, I think we did some good work here. This is a lot of good stuff. I'm gonna have to take some better notes as far as what magic items they have next time. But yeah, I think we did a lot of cool stuff. I need to text them today, partially with this map, partially with I think what I'm gonna do is this little paragraph here. I'm gonna text them that to kind of lead them in, and I'm gonna give them little bits of information, some more little bits of information as we go forward. Because this of this specifically, and little information and stuff about that throughout the week in a little text thing. That way they can kind of interact or talk back and forth about it and whatnot, and they can kind of plan on which one they want to go first, because that'll help me narrow things down and maybe get a little bit more, excitement planned for each adventure. I think we're done, honestly. I think that's all I wanted to accomplish today. This is a lot of work, right? We've been going for almost 3 hours here, and we've prepped for essentially like 5 sessions of what we're doing, and I like it. And the nice thing is we're playing in person, so I don't have to go get maps or anything for any of this, right? I have an idea of what the maps can look like and how I want to run them already. But those, of course, because I also kind of want them to, watch this little stream and this VOD here, I'm also not going to give all the cool super secret stuff away. There are a few special hidden things that I am going to keep up. And some things I want to keep fluid, I guess. Things that I can change, even though I have ideas for it and I know what I want to do with it. I might want to change it depending on what they end up doing. So yes, that's it for today. I think that went great. I'm starting to lose my voice a little bit because it's starting to get dry and scratchy because I'm talking the whole 3 hours straight, very loud and very excitedly. But I think that's where we're going to leave it off for today. Thank you very much for watching all the way to the end. I hope to see you next time.